me, student loans have really kept me from being able to do things like purchase a home or to buy a more reliable car.
It's not just one or two people out there who are saying like, oh, I can't afford to go to college. This is like the majority of college students in the entire nation saying this.
Our college and university system and how we pay for it is so bizarre.
Understanding what the actual cost of college is, I think has been one of the toughest things.
When I graduated from college and graduate school, I have a substantial amount of loans. Having a student loan bill every month has prevented me from getting a doctorate.
I work a full-time job and a part-time job on the weekend to be able to afford the cost of living expenses while trying to go to school.
Things like college debt and textbooks and other fees that people don't think about, but they do follow us. And now as a 30-year-old, my debt is still following me.
So many of my friends either went to grad school or they had children, and they're not able to do both because they can't afford both, and you just have to make a decision for your family. And I don't want the next generations to have to think about things like that.
These are people that are going to end up growing up and finishing college and going back into the workforce. So if they can't afford to even reach their full magnitude over something as simple as, oh, I couldn't afford it because it's so outrageously expensive, then it's like shortchanging the full potential of what America could be.
So for me, in my generation, I think it's important that we really bring light to the financial aid and to the student debt crisis issue.
We are now moving into a generation that is totally affected by these issues, and using their voice is going to matter.
It's very important for young people to stay active and to be advocates for themselves because they're going to make the change.
We as a country don't really value education as much as we should. It should really be a top priority.
The only way that we will be able to succeed at making that happen is by moving it up in our priorities. Our generation defines culture. Why isn't it defining legislation?
The cost of education is just incredibly high, and somebody has to fit the bill. The government should assume that responsibility.
I am a firm believer that education is the cornerstone of democracy. And so if we continue to stratify it with those at the high income being able to afford education and those at the lower levels being forgotten about or not being able to afford it even if they have the intelligence to go, that's going to continue to demoralize generations and tear apart democracy at the seams.